trade from a little bit of their position player depth that has been crushed by injuries and try to get some bullpen help.
Back on FT with everyone's favorite game show, the Wheel of Trade Possibilities. 3 teams today. Wheel of Doom. So you're going to concoct a trade? Are you going to come up with something good for us?
I hope
you
so.
like that word?
Concoct.
I love it that it's on the spot. I love it that it's on the spot, and I don't know what team is going to come up. Like, if I knew what team, then I'd probably say the same rhetoric I always do. But that's why I like the wheel, because it's like, never know what I'm going to win.
That is true. So before we start, we'd like to thank our sponsor, foulterritoryshop.com, if you're looking for T-shirts, hats, wristbands, hoodies, especially, I guess, if you're in still a colder part of the country, but it's summertime. So why don't you stick with the T-shirts right now?
San Fran looks a little cold sometimes.
It is. That's
night.
true.
Yeah.
It's a little chilly out there right now. Coffee mugs, too. They work anytime. All right. Thank you, foulterritoryshop.com. And now we are ready for our first spin. Who would like to fake spin? Boom. There we go. We did it fully on the screen, too, so people can see it better. Let's start with the Houston Astros.
Wow.
This is actually one of the toughest ones to start with because you have a large contingency that wants to see them keep pushing forward. And there is still a portion, I think, of their fan base that's like, you know what, let's hit the reset button. We've had a really good run. We want to keep this going. You know, there are some fans that think they're being realistic and are like, yo, maybe this isn't our year. Starting rotations getting hit left and right. So go ahead, former Astro. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I was actually the one that came up with the trash can scheme, and because I was there in 2016. I just had really bad hearing because I hit like 120 when I was there, so I couldn't hear when they were banging on the trash can. So, you know what? If you're a fan and you want this team to continue to win, you want them to trade. You want them to get rid of the pieces that you cannot get back. I don't think they're bringing Presley back. Get something for him. If you know that Cole Reagans was received from for the Royals for Aroldis Chapman, to me, you can go out and find somebody even better than Cole Reagans. I get it. That was a great trade for the Royals. But Alex Presley is a better actual closer than Aroldis Chapman was last year. He meant a big deal to the Rangers, but they got Cole Reagans. Bregman, if you haven't re-signed him yet, you're not going to. Get something for him to solidify this team for next year that's still going to have Altuve, that's still going to have Pena, that's still going to have Yordan, that's still going to have Tucker in the outfield. To me, you add to that rotation, and I think Framber is a free agent. Maybe I'm misspeaking there. It just popped in my head. But you need rotation help. And if you can get rid of Presley, if you can trade Presley and Bregman and get some rotation help that will push you into next year, I love that. Maybe even go and get, and this is outside the box, go and get Fedde. Fedde signed for 2 years. Now he jumps into your rotation and he helps you get innings. And I get it, you're not giving the White Sox Bregman or Presley, but I'm saying you pick a guy like that up. Yes, he's not going to win this year for you if you're trading away other guys, but now you're getting a guy with multiple years or 2 years of control for this year and next year.
Wait, hold up. You had me. You were like singing Sweet Nothings in my ear. I was following you. And then you brought up Eric Fedde, who I love. But wait, are we buying or are we selling for Houston? Why are you picking up Fedde right now?
Fedde, because you need more than one piece. To me,
Are you trying this year? Or like, are you?
No.
This means you're going.
But
for
I don't
it?
think
No.
Fedde's. No, you're not trying. But I'm saying if you pick up, I should have said like a guy like Fedde that has 2 years of control. You can get a starting pitcher. You don't have to just go and get like some double-A kid for, 3 years of your rotation. You're a team that's still in a winning mode. You're just not going to be able to win this year is how I was approaching that. Maybe I should have explained it a little bit better. Like
but that's for the offseason, Kratz. No? You're saying because you even need to get innings through the rest of the season? I just think it would be weird. Like, you're going to trade. That would be the mixed signals that we see sometimes. Like, Boston's done it in the past where, like, hold up. You traded for Eric Fedde, but then you dealt Bregman, Presley, and someone else? what are you doing here? I'm confused. Do you like me or you don't?
No, they're in a different spot because teams that are trading away their veterans, like look at a team like the White Sox. They're going to trade away every piece that they can to win in 3 to 4 years. The Astros are not in that situation. You need to trade away the Presley, the Bregman, maybe even a Framber, whatever his
Framber's
contract
got another year, I think.
is.
By the way, I think he's got one more.
Okay, so he's out. So he's out. I misspoke on that.
That's okay.
But you need to be ready. You need to be ready again next year. And I don't think because they want to re-sign Tucker, that's going to cost some money. They have put a lot of money into this current team. I don't think they're going to make huge splashes like a Corbin Burns or a Max Fried in the offseason. So to me, this is the time that you do that and you strike while other teams are trading to still build your team up for next year, because they're not going to get a starting pitcher for next season for Bregman. Like, they're not going to trade Bregman to the Mariners for Brian Wu. Like, that's not going to happen, because so you have to think outside the box, because they're not just going to get guys that are going to sit in Double-A and be ready to play in 2 or 3 years in the big leagues. Astros are going to want to win next year. Even though I don't think they're going to win this year, they're going to want to win next year and the year after that.
My only counter here, though, is you don't need to do that right now, right? Like, if you're selling off your pieces, then you do that in the offseason, because it's going to cost you more at the trade deadline, because teams that are competing this year would want an Erick Fedde because you get 2 years of a playoff run with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wait until the offseason, that could be a trade, or it really could be a signing as well if you're looking for a guy that can be, you know, maybe a 3 or 4 in your rotation. You know, I'm just saying I don't think that's and I know what you're saying, like it's a Fedde type, but my point is at the trade deadline you go, are we in or are we out? And if we're in, yeah, maybe we do add a Fedde. If we're out, we trade a Bregman, a Presley, etc. You got to break up this fight. We're knocking. Todd Father's just sitting on the side, like all pretty, like, I don't want to get my face
I wasn't
all
jumping
up.
in. Kratzy was just took it by storm there. I don't think they should be sellers, in my opinion. If they are, there's one guy who I think undercover you guys haven't talked about who can help out anybody in their bullpen. Brian Abreu. I absolutely love this guy. He would be a good fit for a ton of ball teams, especially a team in the Northeast, as we know right now, who needs somebody in the back end to help out. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying if they have a dominant bullpen, like think about that, Abreu, Hader, Presley, wherever you want to match them up, they have the keys to do it. They just need, for one, they need to stay healthy. Their starting pitching has been on the show. When those guys are all healthy, watch out. I don't think they should be sellers.
But you're going to trade a guy that's got 3 years of control left when you're competing.
Too much control.
Too much control.
I don't like control, Eric. Okay.
You won't take Presley. I know you're Yankee shopping. You would. For also, let's be real. Yankees Astros trade probably not super likely based on those teams, loving each other so much. And
I think there should be buyers, not sellers.
The Astros.
Okay,
cool. All right, let's move on to the next team. It was good battle. Next up, give us the wheel on the entire screen so we can all see it from a distance. Beautiful.
From a distance.
You can only do the sound effect if you can roll your R's.
No.
Right. Oh, we just snuck past the Phillies. Oh, Kratz is crying.
That's Reds.
We went to Todd's Reds. What are the Reds going to do? What do you got? You got a trade possibility for the Reds? Because the thing is, this game has 2 factors to it. First, you got to decide if the team's going to be buying or selling, or if you think they should be buying or selling. And then you can start to direct yourself towards a player.
They're 8.5 out. They're last in the Central.
Yeah, but what are they on wild card right now? Like every NL team is.
They are a game and a half out in the wild. How many teams are in the wild card right now?
Would you say a game and a half?
Game and a half out of the wild card. Oh, baby. With the pitching they got me, Lodolo, Ashcraft, I mean, God, Hunter Green. They don't have like those veteran guys, though. That's my biggest thing with the Reds. For some reason, they don't have, Jonathan India. But, I don't think they should sell either.
I don't either.
I don't think they should sell at all. I think they're cruising along right now. They got a couple guys that are injured again. I want to see them when they're fully healthy, and then I can say whether they could be buyers or sellers. But I don't think they sell.
Noelvi Marte is going to come back at some point.
Matty
Pretty
McClain,
soon, actually, right? Noelvi Marte is coming back soon. They're already 70-something games in. He was suspended for the 80, 81.
Yeah.
He's almost back then, no? We haven't talked about it. Yeah. Isn't he like 10 games away from coming back?
Yeah, I mean, he's close. He's going to juice bars in Cincinnati. So, I mean, I'm sure.
He came out and said months later that he thought about it, and it wasn't him. Okay? The Shaggy song. Wasn't me.
I agree with Todd. It wasn't me. I agree with Todd. I don't think they should sell. And I think they're in a sneaky nice spot that when, the water level's out here and that some teams start fading away, I think they're going to hang around. And I say that because their starting rotation. I think their starting rotation has had their hit where it's like, oh, man, he's on the IL. And Andrew Abbott started a little late. Lodolo's had, I think, 2 stints on the IL. Hunter Green is really becoming a good pitcher, not just 106, see if you can hit it. Oh, I lasted 4 innings, but I got my 10 punch-outs. He has become a good pitcher, and his strikeouts have gone down. To me, this team might need to trade from, if Noelvi Marte comes back and he's hot for a little bit, trade from a little bit of their position player depth that has been crushed by injuries and try to get some bullpen help. I know everyone's looking for bullpen help, and I know they have Alexis Diaz, and we could be talking in 2 weeks that Alexis Diaz is that closer that they're trading to. I don't know. But to me, if this team just continues to stay the course, they're almost like that team that's like 1% better every day. By the end of the season, I bet Scott is picking them to win the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Whoa. Just because I love Ellie in the ball club and I wanted to pick them to win the division, but they got hit too hard early on. Yeah, maybe. You might be right. Because the rotation's there. And I was trying to look through the updates on Matt McClain because I know he spoke recently. He won't give a definitive timetable. You're coming back from a major shoulder surgery, but it does sound like he's going to be able to potentially make himself back, I think, in August or September. I got to double check this, so please don't quote me, don't aggregate me, but I got to go look and see.
Ellie needs to step up.
Yeah,
Ellie needs to step up. Just saying.
He's been quiet. He's been quiet.
I think you would agree, Todd. I mean, I get it. He's stealing bases, and he has electric moments. But if he's going to be your superstar, he needs to have a higher OPS than he has, and that's just it's showing he's still learning in the game. Look, he's 22 years old. Like I get it. I can pump the brakes, but you see a difference in Paul Skeens and his maturation and development, and Ellie's maturation and development. Completely different routes, but the same age.
True.
All right, one more spin. Who's got the R's? There we go. Stop it.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's green.
Yeah, that's the Bravos.
Oof. 5.5 up in the wild
card. I think they've got to sell. I just feel like they win the division every year. It's not happening this year. There's no chance they can win a World Series without Ronald Acuna Jr. You would never see that scenario. Obviously, I'm kidding. They did all of that. So outfield for sure for me, right? You gotta like try to relive the magic of what happened in 2021. You don't have to acquire 4 bats and basically redo your entire outfield in your DH slot. But 1 or 2, I think 1 or 2 would be cool and would send a message like, hey, let's just mess around and replicate 2021. It's okay that we don't have Freddie Freeman anymore, but let's try and mess around and see what we can do. In all seriousness, I mean, this team can win a World Series still. They loaded up their bullpen in the offseason. The Chris Sale trade has been beautiful for them. It has worked out so well, okay? I think there were some people that were like, watch, he's going to go to Atlanta and he's going to pitch great and he's going to stay on the mound. Yes, but to this level, I don't know if anybody saw him pitching like this. Yeah, he's been awesome. So I think for them, I mean, obviously you lost Strider too, Kratz. the dream trade deadline for me, if I'm Atlanta, is I get 1 or 2 outfield bats, preferably one that's kind of a big deal, if I can. The dream, okay? This isn't going to all happen because they actually are one of the weaker ranked farm systems. That's 1. 2 is a starter. Doesn't have to be a 1 or a 2, but I want a starter and maybe someone that I can pitch in a playoff game. Like, obviously, Fetty's going to be a hot number. That's a guy that I would love to slot into the rotation, especially if there's a problem, right, between Sale and Morton and Reynaldo Lopez and obviously Fried. We'll see how everyone's at when we get to October. If for some reason there was a problem with one of those dudes, I'd feel good about Fetty slotted in there. And then maybe a bullpen arm, I guess. But they know that it can be hard to find the high leverage guys. That's why they did a really nice job in the offseason of picking up guys that even some of them who have had rockier starts to the season, like the bullpen in general has a lot of talent. There's a lot of stuff in that bullpen. So I'm not too concerned about that.
1 in 5 Americans have learn a new language on their bucket list, and it's been on my list, and I'm actually working on my Spanish right now. If this sounds like you, make 2024 the year you finally check it off the list with Babbel. Be a better you in 2024 with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel's designed by real people for real conversations. We love the word real on FT. I was recently in South America, and I plan on going back after I tackle Babbel's courses that help you learn real-life conversation skills in a different language. The real help you need, like how to order food or ask for directions without having to consult language apps. Also, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and your accent. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at FT at Babbel.com/foul territory. Get up to 60% off at Babbel.com/foul territory, spelled BABBEL.com/foul territory. Rules and restrictions may apply. With Babbel, you can learn everything you need to have real world conversations, from vocab words to culture, and all it takes is just 10 minutes a day.
Hey everybody, be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.